Welcome to the Commute. I'm Shannon.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we are commuting.
Are these on?
What? Yes, they're always on.
Oh,
Hold on, checking. Yep, they're on.
Sure.
We did record an entire podcast in silence.
Yeah, we did.
And we don't know what was on it, but it was probably really good.
Yeah, probably the best one yet.
It was
Definitely
probably
was the one that would have went viral. We would have had thousands of views, YouTube videos, reels, everything.
It was. It
Yeah.
was. We hate that you
We
guys
actually, you
can't
know what?
hear
We
it.
should still post it like as a reel, like one of those clips, and just be silent and see if what people say.
See how many people like it,
Yeah.
then you know they're not even
Yeah.
listening.
That'd be a good idea.
I still have it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So we'll trick some folks.
And just be like, what are your thoughts? And see what people say.
Oh, today's not a terrible day because it's Friday and everything's almost over, and I'm gonna have to just basically hold this phone because
He's really putting
it is
work in
just
there.
not.
We're going to dinner tonight, right? I know that's Monday. Next
No.
Friday. Never mind. Sorry.
No, but we've got third spot tomorrow. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
I get to go have lunch today with a great agent. I'm super excited about that. I love every time I meet with her. I feel like I learned something. But we're commuting to one of our houses that hopefully is done, and we're gonna get to put on the market. But
I think probably a week.
yeah, because countertops will be
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yep.
But we got to make sure everything else is done, and you're gonna need gas.
I'll make it. I get 30 miles when it hits 0. So like, even if you see 39, I see 69. Probably not the best way to live because it doesn't count like negatives, but in my head it makes sense.
So what we decided today was we needed to. Well, actually, we didn't decide. We were told.
Yep.
Jordan told us that the last podcast we did was on agent retention, but I was in a foul mood, so all we talked about was stupid agents and not retaining them.
Yeah. How we don't want them.
So
Good riddance.
today we are going to talk about actual agent retention, and probably from both standpoints, broker side and team side.
Yeah.
So let's start with broker because that's a shorter and easier topic. So for broker agent retention, I really think in general salespeople, so when they sign up at a brokerage, the resources that are available are typically pretty basic and across the board the same, right? You might have a brokerage that offers a database, you might not.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a broker that offers signs as part of it, you might not. But in general, most of the resources are the same.
Yeah.
So for agent retention at a brokerage, I think it becomes more of culture, support and just the environment in general. Like I don't think they just up and leave.
Well, and I think you see too, even trying to in recruiting just for brokerage agents, I feel like it's much harder to recruit pure brokerage agents than on team agents.
Oh yeah.
Because like if they're not unhappy where they're at, they don't want to move. They don't want to move just because your monthly fee is $25 cheaper or your cap is $2,000 cheaper. Because like for them, that doesn't really equate to anything.
Right. Definitely. And I think I think if they're happy and they like their culture, they're going to stick. But a lot of agents don't get into a brokerage and mesh well with the culture or build those relationships quickly. So they hop.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll pick on Shelby for a minute, but Shelby before us was at 3 different brokerages.
3 in 2 years or something, 3 in a year and a half.
3 in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And for her, it was one of those things where she really just never found home, right? Like she never felt like she was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, now again, she joined our team, but when she came to us, it was more, she just needed those relationships.
Yeah. But she needs to, there's agents like that. They want to feel like you got their back.
Yep.
They want to feel the support.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go join any big box brokerage, you're never going to feel that because like you literally are, like the old adage my dad used to tell me, you're just a number.
Right.
At those brokerages where they have thousands of agents, you're literally just a number.
Well, it's kind of like church, right? Are you just a backseat Baptist, right?
Right.
Isn't that like a phrase? Like if you just come into a big box brokerage and you just sit in the back, you're never going to build those relationships. But with
But if you don't have agents that are always in the office,
right,
and like you can interact with, it's impossible to build those relationships too.
Shelby's a bad example. I need to use Connie.
Yeah.
Connie Zullo. She's an amazing agent. She's been in the business for years. She joined a smaller brokerage closer to her home, but she never had relationships there, right? Like she didn't have the support. Like when she needed it, it was hard to get. This thing is driving me nuts. We're going to have to figure this out.
Yeah.
The phone keeps sliding, you guys. So if you're watching on YouTube, sorry. But I think like she's
Jackie.
We can talk about that one too. So with Connie, she came over when she had a question, it was getting answered. She just loves us. Like she loves our culture. She loves our environment. So she's not going to leave. Like something dramatic would have to happen for her to leave our brokerage, no matter who tries to recruit her.
Yep.
But then you have those that just never really find their space, their place, and then they leave.
Yep.
And so if people don't buy into the culture when it's the brokerage side, I just don't think you can't really do anything about it, right? Because we all have different types of cultures.
Sure.
Even if you think of the big box company, Keller Williams, right? I love them. You could love an office on Pennsylvania Avenue and hate an office on Piedmont Parkway.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it really is individual office driven. And so those big companies that are just online, the virtual companies, those are typically agents that just want to do their business or don't have a lot of business and just want to put their license somewhere. They're not worried about culture.
Yep.
So for agent retention at a brokerage, it's building a culture that you stick to and you don't change that culture based on an agent coming in.
Yep.
You set your avatar, you set your culture, and that is what it is.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
and
I don't think there's anything else on that.
No, but I think the old adage of like attitude reflects leadership, right? So I think for that example, right, with the Keller Williams, I mean, it really does. Your leadership at those brokerages and at those offices, that is who sets the culture at the end of the day.
Right.
Right. So I think it's important, and it's important to be as inclusive is not the right word. Like just like I guess spread out so everyone feels welcome as you can. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do that. Not actually.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be a fit for 100% of the people.
Exactly. So so I think
it's the widest net you can.
Right.
And you make everyone feel welcome and everyone feel, but like our average per eight, what's that?
Productivity?
Yeah. Average agent productivity is like 5 times higher than those big box brokerages. So like, apparently our culture is more driven. It's more like, even for brokerage agents, right? Like we have producing brokerage agents. We don't have people just hanging their license. So for the people that don't want to do the business, we're not going to be a good fit for them.
Right.
Not really.
Right. Because they would hate our culture. They'd be like, gosh, you guys need to just slow down.
Right. We're too active. We're too, hey, what's going on with this? Hey, do you want to help us show? Even like to brokerage agents, hey, do you want to do this, do this, do this?
Yep.
And so I think that's just.
And that can be overwhelming to someone who's not trying to work.
Right.
So now for a team, I think it's a lot different. Retention. Yes, there's still the culture. There's still all that fun stuff. But for retention for a team, I feel like those agents need a lot more affirmation and hand-holding and rewards. Like they are, and not that we don't give rewards and stuff and awards at the brokerage level, but it is much more needed on a team level. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because they are splitting their commission, they feel they deserve it.
And I think that's what it is. I think it's like they want to see where their money's going and they want some of it to come back to them.
Well, that, and then I just also wonder if they're definitely more of a competitive type person.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if you're on a team, you know that there's more opportunity if you're on a good team.
Right.
So I don't know if that just brings out more of the competitiveness, and typically very competitive people are reward driven.
Yeah.
So I would say like for us, our retention on our team is actually really good, right? It was something like 80.
Yeah, it's over 80%, I think. 80, especially when a team kind of is designed for every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
You're kind of just churning them because you're just really supposed to be teaching them about the business, teaching them how to set up their business.
Yep.
But then you get some agents who are like, hey, I'm happy with this split because I don't have to worry about marketing. I don't have to worry about lead gen. I don't have to worry about, A, B, C, D, E.
That's when it becomes truly about the culture, though. Someone that's staying with the team over 3 years, that's when culture matters more than anything else. Those are, and think about it, those agents that have been with us 5+ years, none of them care about the rewards.
Right.
None of them care about words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one. But most of them care more about our culture and then having time together. Which, for me, that's always one of those weird things. I'm like, why do people want to hang out? Like, why do they want to hang out with me? Like, that's weird for me, but that really is what it's about. I mean, we have agents that, like, by all standards, they do not need to be on a team, right? Like, literally do not. But they love our environment. So I think for retaining them, it's just making sure we're meeting their needs, making sure that they fit our culture. Because people that don't fit our culture, they don't stay. They're there for a year, maybe 2, and then they move on. And I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I don't know if I sent it to you, but I listened to this. I suck at remembering all things. It was something about having your top A people, A players. A players. So, and I think I sent it to you. It was during my time on socials. Anyways, it was talking about you look for the A players. Don't settle for B and C for your main 5 people, right? So for me, on our staff, our main 5 people, if those are not A players, then you won't continue to develop and grow A players, because A players don't want to be around B and C players. So I was thinking about that, our staff jives, that's all good. But when you do think about the agents, that's when I think it's harder, because I want to kind of shift and really have those A players
try to help the B and C's get to,
and if they don't get to it, then they're out. Because they shouldn't want to be around us because we're A players.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool, and now I just got to figure out how to implement that too.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when we did our recruiting class. How you quartile your agents.
Quartile?
Yeah. So you have your bottom 25%, and then you have your middle 50%, and then you have your top 25%. And in all reality, you're until you got your high, you're your 75 to 100, you're 50 to 75. You want them to go to here, these to go to here, and these to go to here. And then once you're at your top, you need to stay there. So it's the same concept, right? If you have your A, B, and C, and you want your C's to become B's, your B's to become A's, and your A's to stay at A to help everyone else out. Right. So I think it's coming up with a process, and you try the mentorship program, you try something like that. You try.
We've tried leadership.
Right. You try stuff. All kinds of different things to try to facilitate that. But I don't know.
It's hard. I think it's been hard. I think
the reality of is you're not going to have that many A players, right?
But I see the importance of it on the staff level. And we've talked about it a lot lately. If you guys aren't the best in your position, then what's the energy bus? If we either get off the bus or get in a different seat. We've got to get people in the right place. And I really think for the most part, we're there. It's just, there's always going to be tweaking, but I got to figure out something with the agents. As far as retention is concerned, I think we're always going to retain roughly 80% with the way turnover is supposed to work. I think our team is pretty solid. So in doing so, if you are running a team, I think anyone listening, you need to consider, don't mess with your avatar. What your avatar is what it is, and you stand firm on it, which helps create your culture. And then figure out the 2 to 3 things that you're willing to do for retention. So for us, it is rewards and challenges. I like awards and reward. They're 2 different things, right?
Yeah, awards is for isn't it for yearly or a period of time?
And
success, and rewards is for
doing over and beyond.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. There is two different
Things. But anyways, so awards, rewards, and like events is what one of ours, and then giving words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Which
even look at our last happy hour brokerage wide. I mean, we had like 25 people from our team there. 20 people just from our team.
Yeah.
It's like that's where it's just your core. Like I guess not even your core. Like 50% of your agents, and then it's more like 80% of your full-time agents really were there.
Yeah.
So like that's where you can see it, and you can just you kind of can see it working, which is good.
Yeah. Which is funny. They would rather do that kind of stuff than go to an event where they could get leads.
Yeah. But you need both.
Right. But I'm saying it's crazy because like we're doing the Geranium Festival this weekend, and getting people to sign up for that is like literally pulling teeth. And I'm like, it's free to you to get leads. And that they're like, but hey, we're going to have a happy hour, which we only buy one drink for you. Then you're on your own. And they'd rather do that, which it says something about, again, our culture, right? Like they like to hang out.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's sales people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
seems like salespeople would want to go get more sales, but whatever.
Yeah, but salespeople always like, and from the test of time, they're always, I want to hang out when I want to hang out. I'll work when I want to work, and that sucks as a owner of a company. But when they're the ones that bring in the money,
it's exhausting.
It's like you gotta figure out how you can needle them to get them where you want them to go, but also like still give them that freedom so they feel comfortable too. It's just like it is definitely I mean, we talked about that yesterday with like the different like agent personalities and how to rein certain ones in and how to like let them just go because they're gonna. You just focus on you today.
I feel like this thing is on the struggle bus.
But
so yeah, I feel like,
and if your retention, like if you're a team or a brokerage and your retention is less than like say 70%, you need to do some serious like internal what's going on.
Yeah, because that's definitely then your systems and structure is bad, and or your core values and your
either your culture is bad or what you're offering them isn't enough.
Yeah, because there are some brokerages when I coach other brokers, and when I'm talking to them and they tell me their splits and their office bills and all that, I'm like, people sign up and pay that much?
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
Yep.
But their culture fits those agents and their culture, like my culture is so different than theirs. Their agents would not flourish in our environment.
Yeah.
But do very well under that environment, pay more money.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's all like from that leader standpoint, what do you want? Mm-hmm. What are you going to stand for? And then you stay firm on that.
Yeah. And what those agents' mindset is like, and if like their mindset fits that culture, then it's just like, it's going to click.
Yeah.
But then you'll have some agents that will come over. You don't think it's going to be an instant fit and then something clicks in their head and then it's perfect. Right.
Yep.
So I think we've had 2 or 3 agents that we've talked about like last 6 months. Like, I don't know how this one's going to be. And then after like a month and a half,
we're like, they're great.
Yeah. They're killing it.
Then we've also had ones where I'm like, that's going to be a rock star. They're going to be awesome. They're going to lead. They're going to step. And then they are nothing.
Yeah. 4 weeks and then they're gone.
So yeah, that happens too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's interesting for sure.
So overall, sum it all up, retention is definitely culture and support. Your avatar, I mean, he's been breaking forever, but you break whenever you would like. Avatar, culture, and support.
Yeah, and then I mean, and what you offer. I mean, at some point, right? Like one thing that I always, when we're trying to recruit, is we actually offer our brokerage, just pure brokerage agents, leads, which is crazy because no other really brokerage does.
Right.
Even what do you call brokerages and teams?
Brokerages and teams.
No, but like you call it something like, hey, we started out our brokerage as a
indie agent.
No, a teamer. Like you had like you combined them because like your brokerage was your team at first. you and Andy were talking about it. You're like, you started out as a
as a team.
Yeah, but your brokerage was basically the team.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know if it was called something.
You guys he had a word for it. Anyway,
Andy's
so like
smart.
those type of yeah, I was about to say you're not gonna fix
This
that.
thing.
Those type of brokerages even like, and they'll have their team, and they'll only have like 2 or 3 indie agents.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're not offering anything to those indie agents. Like,
or like we were offering everything that you got on my team to an indie agent.
Right.
And then my team is like, whoa.
Why don't I just go join the brokerage?
I just be at the brokerage. So then we had major like hurdles when we first opened the brokerage.
Yeah.
Just because it was new and there was a struggle and I didn't know what I was doing. And live and learn. It's all great. So that is agent retention for real, Jordan, the real one. Not just pissing and moaning and being cranky.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Jordan. So what are you supposed to say?
Follow us on Instagram, thecommute.pod, at thecommute.pod. Me and Shannon on Instagram. Shannon is Shannon _ Watkins _ real. She got
real
hacked.
like
REAL. She got hacked one time.
I got hacked and Shannon Watkins was taken and then it was too hard. And then I got someone telling me, why you got real on your name? Is there a fake one? I don't know. I was available.
Mine is simple. It's just my name, Andrew Videla. Not many people have.
Is it Videla?
Yeah, Videla. Or Vadala, if you're Italian. Follow us on YouTube, The Commute Pod. I don't think there's a dot in that one.
Yeah, and if you follow the YouTube and watch this episode, you're going to see the camera going all over the place during this drive.
This one needs to be this is a Spotify listen right here.
This is definitely, it's going to be distracting.
Shout out to our most loyal listener, our Patreon, Jackie.
Jackie's the best.
She's the best. So, thank you to her.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. Commute is out. I like
done.
Commute is out. That's what I'm just going to always say. Commute's out.
We're almost commuted anyway.
We are almost there. Bye.